Man, got the 5-0 now in the UFC. I mean, flying high right now, co-main event slot. I mean, what's the feeling like for you right now?
Uh, it's great. I think I'm finally getting everything that I've worked so hard in my life to get. I've dedicated my entire life, my childhood, to becoming a UFC world champion. I was just telling them outside that this isn't enough for me. I don't just want to be in the UFC. I don't want to just be the guy that's doing co-main events. I want to be the main event. I want to be a world champion, and that's what's important to me. So this is great. I'm definitely enjoying the journey. I'm definitely soaking it all in, but I've got so much more that I can do, and I know it.
That's awesome. Adjustments, right? Obviously, changing opponent 3 weeks. I mean, give me the emotion around all that. Having to change opponents, having to reschedule it. Has that been a difficult change for you?
No, I think that one of the things that I do so well is I roll with the punch as well, and I can understand that with how I train and how I prepare, it really doesn't matter who I'm competing against. Our gym does a really good job of fighter A versus fighter B. There's no names. It's just how does this guy match up against this guy? How does the styles compare? And I think that Ricky is a very good matchup for me. I'm very excited because I do think that he's tough. He's going to hang around. I'm not just going to be able to get him out of there early. And being in the co-main event, that's the type of performance that I want. Somebody that's going to hang around, be tough, and I'm really going to have to show all my skills to beat him.
Was it difficult to get the physical peak right? I mean, right, it's all about timing and being there in the right place at the right time. Was it tough to change the calendar?
No, I wouldn't say so. For me, with how I train and what I do, it's more just about making weight. And so being able to add, 3 weeks or 4 weeks or whatever it was on there, I got to have a little cheat meal. I got to bring my calories up a bit, and it just made that training camp even a little bit better because I was so low. And then, you go back up a little bit. I'm very happy with the way everything is turning out right now.
That's awesome. Talk about game planning, though. I mean, obviously less time to do so, right? I mean, do you feel like you have less of an approach than you normally do because it's relatively short notice?
I think with my style, I don't think there's anybody in this room that is wondering what I'm going to try to do in the fight. And so for me, it's basically when I look at a fight, it's what stance does he stand in, what arm does he guillotine with, and what's his most dangerous weapon on his feet. And I think I've got that all figured out with Ricky. And I think that he's not going to be able to stop what I do. And I think I'm going to do the exact same thing for the next guy and probably the exact same thing for the guy after that. There's not very many people that ground game I'm afraid of. There's not very many people that I won't be shooting on and won't be trying to grind out. So I like the matchup. I think everything's working out great for me.
Nice. We talked to him earlier. He didn't seem to be a huge fan of some of your talking and some of your pre-fight comments. I mean, do you feel like you've poked him a little bit, or is he just maybe taking offense or reading in between things?
I don't know Ricky, and Ricky doesn't know me. The only things that we know about each other is that he's trying to take what I've worked for. So I don't necessarily dislike the guy. I don't think I've said anything that that was crossing the line. Everything that I've said, I've believed 100%. And if you ask him the same questions I was asked, he would say the same thing. He thinks he's going to beat me. I think I'm going to beat him. The only thing that I have said that I didn't know about is I was calling him Richard as kind of a joke because my older brother's name is Richard, or Ricky, and he hates being called Richard. So as a joke, I was calling him Richard. And then I saw an interview that he did where he was talking about something with his mother. I don't know what the story is. Something with his mother and a man named Richard, and so I do feel bad about that one because, believe it or not, I have a mother myself, and I would never want to make her feel uncomfortable. So, Ricky, if you're watching this, I do apologize about the Richard part. So, but other than that, I'm still going to kick your ass.
Classy. All right, like you said, this isn't enough. This isn't the end goal. But co-main event, does it feel special? Does it feel like, hey, yeah, we're in this big spot. We're on the cusp of something really big?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, it's really cool that I'm finally getting that recognition. I felt like there's a lot of fighters when I was coming up that were getting a lot of recognition, like Bryce Mitchell is one, he got a co-main event for, I believe, his fourth fight, something along those lines. And it's nice that I put my head down and I started grinding and I'm finally getting rewarded for that. So it's great. I'm so excited, but at the end of the day, being co-main event, being a giant favorite, that doesn't change anything in the fight. Because we're co-main event, he doesn't hit any harder. Because we're co-main event, I don't, gas out. It really doesn't change a whole lot in the fight, other than it's kind of cool that there'll be that many eyes on us.
Yeah, you're in a stacked division, of course, but I mean, you win here, like you said, 6-0. That's pretty impressive. I mean, your career record is impressive. Or do you think it's time to be in the rankings and fighting these ranked opponents after this one?
Definitely fighting ranked opponents. I don't want to get ranked without fighting a ranked opponent. There's a couple of guys that are in the rankings right now that really didn't beat anybody or really didn't do anything super spectacular. And I don't want to be one of those guys. So after this fight, I'll be 18-1, and I really want to take on Diego Ferreira again in December and earn my spot in the top 15s. Now, if they put me in the top 15 for whatever reason, I'm not going to say no, but I really do want to earn my spot in the top 15. Diego's ranked number 11. He wants the fight. I want the fight. Barring no injuries and barring I win on Saturday, that's what we're going after.
Nice. Do you care to call out any of the guys that don't belong there just to stir the pot and piss some people off a little bit?
No, because they're pretty scary. No, it's not so much 55. There's a couple in 55 that are, but at 45, I feel like there's a lot of guys that get ranked off of not beating ranked guys. You know, when I was a kid and watching MMA, you had to beat a ranked guy to get ranked. And I think that they're kind of just, you know, oh, he's on a 2-fight skid, you know, but he's fought the number 5 and 6 guy in the world. They don't realize that, and they just get him out and get the new blood in. So I definitely think that there's some politics going on with the rankings, and it's not a huge deal to me because I'm here to be number 1, not number 15.
I dig it. Last thing for me, goal here. I mean, obviously, like you said, you're trying to go all the way to the top. So is it just win by any means, or do you feel like you want to go do something spectacular where, you know, these extra eyes all of a sudden are talking about you and it just really brings the hype up?
My goal is to finish. Ricky's never been finished in the UFC. I think he's only been finished once in his career, actually. So for me to go in there and get a finish over Ricky, I think that's what's going to stamp my name, and that's what's really going to show people like, hey, I am ready for the next level. Other than that, winning is the only goal. Winning dominantly is the goal here.